Nobody tells you what to do when the trail behind you disappears. Not gets covered, not becomes hard to see. I mean, disappears. Like the mountain decided you were never supposed to leave. This happened 2 years ago during a 3-day hike with my friend Daniel. We picked a quiet trail in the mountains at the end of autumn. No tourists, no families, no loud groups with speakers. Just wet leaves, cold air, and that strange silence forests get when the season is almost over. The ranger at the parking lot warned us about weather. He said the fog could roll in fast. He said the temperature dropped hard after sunset. Then, right as we were leaving, he looked at our map and frowned. "Stay on the marked trail," he said. Daniel laughed and told him we weren't idiots. The ranger didn't laugh. He just tapped the paper with one dirty fingernail and said, "If you see a white ribbon tied to a tree, turn around." That was it. No explanation, no creepy story. Just that. If you see a white ribbon, turn around. We joked about it for the first hour. Daniel kept pointing at random branches and saying, "White ribbon, we're dead." But by afternoon, the jokes stopped. The forest got too quiet. Not normal quiet. No birds, no insects, no wind moving through the trees. Even our footsteps sounded wrong, like the ground was swallowing them before they could echo. Around 4, we reached a split in the trail. That was the first problem. There wasn't supposed to be a split. Our map showed one path continuing north along the ridge, but in front of us the trail divided into 2. The left path had a faded yellow marker. The right path had nothing, except a strip of white fabric tied around a pine branch. It was old, dirty, almost gray. Daniel stared at it. I tried to laugh, but it came out weak. "We turn around," I said. He looked at the sky. Clouds were moving in fast, thick and dark. "If we go back now, we'll be hiking after sunset," he said. "Left trail still has a marker. We'll take that." I didn't like it, but he was right. The left trail was marked, so we followed it. For about 20 minutes, everything seemed normal again. Then Daniel stopped. He was looking down. There were footprints in the mud, fresh, boot prints, going the same direction as us. At first, that should have made me feel better. Someone else was nearby. But then Daniel put his boot beside one of the prints. Same size, same pattern, same broken edge on the heel. They were his footprints, but they were ahead of us. We stood there staring at them. "That's not possible," he said. Then we heard something move deeper in the trees, not behind us, ahead. A slow step, then another, like someone walking just out of sight. Daniel called out, "Hello!" The forest gave nothing back. No answer, no echo, just silence. Then, from far ahead, something called back in Daniel's voice. "Hello?" His face changed. I'll never forget it. It wasn't fear at first, it was confusion. Like his brain refused to accept what his ears had heard. I grabbed his arm and told him we were going back. We turned around. The trail behind us was gone. Not hidden, gone. Where the path had been, there was only dense forest, trees packed together too tightly for anyone to walk through. Daniel pulled out the map. His hands were shaking now. The paper had gotten damp from the fog, but the trail was still there. A clean black line, a simple route, nothing like what we were standing in. That's when we saw the second white ribbon. It was tied to a tree behind us. Then another one to the left. Then another one farther down the slope. They weren't warnings anymore. They were leading somewhere. The fog rolled in just before dark. Fast, too fast. 1 minute we could see between the trees. The next, the world shrank to 10 feet of gray air and black trunks. We had no choice but to set up camp. Daniel wanted to keep walking. I told him walking blind on a mountain was how people died. So we found a flat patch near a cluster of rocks and put up the tent. Neither of us spoke much. We ate cold food, no fire. Everything was too wet. Around 8, we heard bells, tiny bells, like from a child's toy, soft, far away. Daniel whispered, "Do you hear that?" I nodded. The bells moved slowly through the fog, left to right, then stopped. A voice called from the trees. It was my voice. "Daniel?" He covered his mouth with one hand. My own voice called again. "Daniel, come here! I found the trail!" It sounded exactly like me. Same tone, same tired breath, same little crack I get when I'm cold. Daniel looked at me like he wasn't sure I was real anymore. I whispered, "Do not answer." The voice outside got closer. "Daniel?" Then it laughed. Not loudly, just a short laugh. The kind I do when something isn't funny, but I don't know what else to do. That was worse than screaming. We sat frozen inside the tent. The bells started again, closer now, circling us. Once, twice. Then the footsteps came. Slow, soft, wet leaves pressing under weight. Something stopped outside the tent entrance. I could see the shape of it through the fabric. A person, standing too still. Daniel's breathing was shaking. The zipper moved, not opened, just moved, like someone touched it with one finger. Then my voice whispered from outside, "You forgot the rule." Neither of us slept. Sometime before sunrise, the shape disappeared. The fog stayed. When we crawled out of the tent, the ground around us was covered in footprints, hundreds of them. All Daniel's boot prints, all walking in circles around the tent. But Daniel had never left my sight, and mixed between them were smaller prints. Bare feet, human, too narrow, too long. Every bare footprint pointed toward the tent, as if people had stood all around us in the dark, facing inward. Daniel didn't say anything. He packed fast. We followed the slope downward, because every survival guide says water leads to people. But there was no stream, no birds, no sun. Just fog and trees, and those white ribbons. They kept appearing exactly when we thought we were lost. One on a branch, one tied around a root, one hanging from a dead tree like a strip of skin. By noon, we found an old campsite. Not ours, someone else's. A torn blue tent, a rusted cooking pot, a backpack half buried under leaves. Daniel opened it before I could stop him. Inside was a camera, old, cracked screen, dead battery, and a folded paper map, the same trail map we had. But someone had written on it in black marker, "Do not follow the white ribbons." Under that, in smaller writing, "They learn your voice first, then your footsteps, then your face." Daniel dropped the map. Behind us, a branch snapped. We turned. There was someone standing in the fog, maybe 20 feet away. It looked like Daniel. Same jacket, same backpack, same crooked posture from an old knee injury. But its head was angled slightly wrong, like it had studied him from far away and missed something important. Daniel whispered, "No." The thing smiled. Not wide, not monstrous, Just Daniel's smile, but delayed, like it had to remember how. Then it spoke in his voice. "Come on, I found the way down." Daniel took one step back. The thing took one step forward, same foot, same movement, a perfect mirror. I grabbed Daniel and ran. We didn't care about the trail anymore. We pushed through branches, slipped on wet stones, tore our hands on bark. Behind us, 2 sets of footsteps followed, one heavy, one light, then 3, then more. The forest filled with us. My voice calling Daniel, Daniel's voice calling me, our laughter, our coughing, our exact, exhausted breathing. Every sound we made came back wrong from somewhere else. At some point, Daniel fell, his ankle twisted under him. I tried to lift him, but he shoved me away. "Go!" he said. I told him to shut up. Then we heard the bells again, very close. Daniel looked past me. His face went pale. I turned. There were white ribbons everywhere, dozens of them, hundreds, tied to every tree, hanging from branches, wrapped around trunks, fluttering in air that wasn't moving. And between the trees stood shapes, people, not moving, not breathing, all wearing hiking gear, all with faces that looked almost right. Some were old, some were young. Some looked like they had been out there for years. And every single one of them was watching Daniel. Not me. Daniel. He looked at me and whispered, "They don't have yours yet." I didn't understand. Then he shoved his backpack into my chest. "Run without talking!" Before I could grab him, he screamed. Not words, just noise, loud enough to tear through the fog. Every shape turned its head toward him. Daniel started crawling backward, dragging his bad ankle, making as much sound as he could. The forest answered with his scream, over and over, from every direction. I ran. I didn't say his name. I didn't call for help. I didn't even breathe right. I just ran downhill until my legs stopped feeling like mine. The fog broke sometime near evening. I stumbled onto a gravel road less than a mile from the ranger station. A search team went in that night, then again the next morning. They found our tent. They found the old blue campsite. They found Daniel's backpack. But they never found Daniel. The official report said he got disoriented in the fog and wandered off trail. That's what they told his parents. That's what they told me. But 3 weeks later, I got a voicemail from an unknown number. At first, it was just static. Then bells. Tiny bells. And then Daniel's voice. Calm. Close. Almost happy. He said, "I found the way down." There was a pause. Then my own voice whispered in the background, "Don't tell him yet." I changed my number. I moved apartments. I stopped hiking. For 2 years, nothing happened. Until last night. I came home from work and found something tied to my front door handle. A strip of dirty white fabric, still damp. And behind me, from the stairwell, Daniel's voice said, "You forgot the rule." The first thing we noticed was the fire. Not the smoke, not the screaming. The fire itself. It moved wrong, like it was alive, like it was searching. We saw it from halfway up the mountain, just before sunset, orange light flickering through the trees far below us. At first, we thought it was another camping group, maybe hunters, maybe drunk hikers ignoring fire restrictions. But then the flames started moving uphill. Fast, too fast. Not spreading, traveling, like someone carrying a bonfire through the forest. There were 4 of us on that trip: me, Ryan, Eli, and Marcus. 3 days into a remote trail nobody used anymore because of landslides farther north. No cell service, no cabins, no roads for nearly 50 miles. Exactly why Marcus picked it. He hated crowded trails. Funny thing is, after what happened, I don't think people were ever the problem out there. We first saw the fire around 6:40 p.m. The sun was already sinking behind the ridgeline. Everything had that dark blue evening color where the forest starts feeling unfamiliar. Ryan stopped walking first. "You guys see that?" Far below us, between the trees, orange light flickered violently. Too bright, way too bright for a campfire. And it was moving. Eli narrowed his eyes. "Maybe search and rescue?" Marcus shook his head immediately. "No helicopters, no vehicles. Too deep out here." The fire disappeared behind the trees for a second, then suddenly appeared much higher up the slope, closer. None of us spoke. It should have taken minutes to move that distance. It moved in seconds. Then we heard the crack, like a massive tree snapping somewhere below us. Birds exploded from the forest canopy, dozens of them, maybe hundreds. Ryan whispered, "That's not normal." Then the screaming started, very far away, human. Just one scream, cut off instantly. The mountain went silent again. Marcus told us to keep moving, fast. There was a ranger shelter marked on the map about 2 miles ahead, an old emergency cabin near the ridge. We started hiking harder after that. Nobody joked anymore. Nobody talked. Every few minutes we looked back down the mountain. The fire kept following, always below us, always getting closer. But the strangest part, the trees around it never burned. That's what finally made my stomach drop. The flames touched branches, wrapped around trunks, moved through dead leaves. But nothing caught fire. Not smoke, not ash, nothing. The forest stayed untouched. Only the light moved. Like the fire wasn't real, or maybe the forest already knew it. We reached the shelter just after dark. Small wooden structure built into the rocks, probably from the 70s. Half-rotted walls, metal roof, one door, no windows except a tiny cracked pane near the ceiling. Inside smelled like wet wood and mold, but it felt safer than outside. At least at first. Marcus barricaded the door with an old table, while Ryan checked the emergency supplies. Most of it was ruined, water damaged, expired decades ago. Eli found a radio mounted on the wall. Dead, of course. Outside, the forest had gone completely black. No moon, no stars, just trees. And somewhere below us, that orange light. We could still see it through cracks in the wood, moving slowly now, circling. Ryan tried laughing. This is literally every horror movie setup ever. Nobody laughed back. Around 9 p.m., we heard footsteps outside, slow, crunching through gravel, then stopping directly outside the shelter. Marcus froze. We all did. A voice came through the door. "Hey," male voice, middle-aged, maybe. "Can you help me?" Relief hit me so hard I almost opened the barricade immediately. But Marcus grabbed my arm. The voice outside sounded exhausted, weak. "I got separated from my group. Ryan stepped toward the door. Then the voice spoke again, exactly the same way. Same tone, same pause. I got separated from my group, word for word, like a recording replaying itself. Ryan slowly backed away. The voice repeated again, same timing, same breathing. Not human. Eli whispered, "Don't answer it." Silence outside. Then scratching. Slow fingernails dragging across wood. The thing outside started walking around the shelter. Its footsteps sounded wet, heavy, like soaked boots dragging through mud. Then we saw the light under the door, orange flickering, bright enough to fill the cracks in the floorboards. Ryan looked through the tiny upper window, immediately stumbled backward. His face went white. "What did you see?" Marcus asked. Ryan didn't answer. He just whispered, "It's looking at us." Then the knocking started. 3 slow knocks, then 3 more, then louder. Bang, bang, bang. The entire shelter shook. Dust fell from the ceiling. Eli shouted, "What the hell do you want?" The knocking stopped instantly. Then Eli's own voice answered from outside, "What the hell do you want?" Perfect imitation. Every word, every emotion. Marcus grabbed Eli and pulled him away from the door. And then we heard something much worse. More footsteps. Not one person, several. Circling the shelter, different speeds, different weights. Some limping, some dragging. And mixed between them, crackling, like fire burning inches away from the walls. The orange light flooded through every gap now, pulsing, breathing. I don't know how else to describe it. The light felt alive. Around midnight, the roof started creaking. Something was climbing onto it. Slow movements overhead, heavy. The old metal roof bent inward with each step. Ryan whispered, "If that thing comes through, we run." Marcus shook his head. "Run where?" Nobody answered. Then came the voice, my voice, directly above us. "Open the door." I felt my entire body go cold. It sounded exactly like me, not close, not almost, exact. Then another voice joined it, Ryan's. "Open the door." Then Marcus, then Eli. All of us speaking from outside at the same time. The shelter became unbearably hot. Sweat poured down my neck. The air smelled like burning plastic. Orange light leaked through the ceiling boards now. And underneath it, we started hearing whispers, hundreds of whispers layered together. Not understandable, just human sounds. Marcus finally snapped. He grabbed the flashlight and shoved the barricade aside. What if someone's actually out there? Eli tried stopping him. Too late. Marcus opened the door. Cold air blasted inside. The orange light vanished instantly. The forest outside was completely dark, empty, silent. For 1 second, everything seemed normal again. Marcus actually laughed in relief. Then we heard footsteps behind him, not in front, behind, deep in the trees uphill. Something tall stepped between the pines. Its entire body glowed orange beneath black skin, stretched too tightly over its shape. Not burning, containing fire, like flames trapped inside a human body. Its face. God. Its face looked melted and unfinished, like it kept trying to become someone. Features shifting slowly under the skin. Eyes appearing, disappearing. Mouth moving in the wrong place. Then it smiled, using Marcus's face. Marcus slammed the door shut. too late. The thing sprinted. The impact shook the entire shelter so hard the ceiling cracked. Something outside screamed. Not angry, excited. Then dozens of footsteps rushed through the trees around us. The mountain exploded with movement. Things running everywhere outside, slamming into walls, crawling across the roof, laughing in our voices. The shelter lights flashed orange through every crack. And then Eli started screaming. We turned. His arm was burning. Not normal fire. Orange cracks spread under his skin like glowing veins. He collapsed instantly. The smell was horrific. Burned meat and melted plastic. But there were no flames on him. The light was inside him. Marcus dragged him backward while Ryan panicked. Eli kept gasping one sentence over and over. "It's inside me." Then his voice changed. Mid-sentence, not fully, just slightly wrong. Like somebody else was learning how to use it. Marcus looked terrified for the first time all night. He whispered, "We need to leave." Outside, into that forest. But staying wasn't possible anymore. Orange light spread across Eli's neck now, his skin pulsing brighter every second. And then he smiled at us. Not Eli's smile. Too wide, too calm. Ryan backed into the wall. Eli spoke in a voice that layered over itself unnaturally. "Don't leave the fire alone." Marcus grabbed me. We ran. Ryan followed. Behind us, Eli started laughing. Then, something inside the shelter laughed with him. We sprinted blindly through the trees. No trail, no direction, just darkness and branches tearing at our faces. Behind us, orange light moved between the trunks, fast, keeping pace. Sometimes ahead of us, sometimes beside us, never fully visible, but always there. Marcus suddenly stopped. Ryan crashed into him. Ahead, between the trees, dozens of orange figures stood silently in the forest. Human shapes glowing from inside, watching us. Some wore hiking clothes, some ranger uniforms. One looked like a child. All smiling. Ryan started crying, actually crying. Marcus whispered, "Don't let them touch you." Then Ryan screamed. One of the figures was suddenly behind him, its glowing hand pressed against his face instantly. Orange cracks exploded beneath his skin immediately. Ryan's scream became laughter halfway through. Marcus pulled me downhill. I never saw Ryan again. The last thing I heard was his voice joining the others in the trees, calling our names, trying to sound human. Around sunrise, I reached the road alone, burned, bleeding, half delirious. Search teams found the shelter later that day. Empty. No Marcus, no Eli, no Ryan. The shelter itself hadn't burned at all, but every tree around it was blackened, like something enormous had stood there, radiating heat for hours. The official report blamed gas leaks and exposure, said trauma caused hallucinations. But they never explained the footprints, hundreds of them. Bare human footprints burned into the dirt around the shelter, all facing inward, like something had gathered there during the night, watching, waiting. I still hike sometimes, not mountains anymore, never mountains. But last week, while driving home late at night, I saw orange light moving through the forest beside the highway, keeping pace with my car. And through the trees, I saw Marcus walking inside the fire, smiling, like he finally wanted me to follow him back.